teachers safe in school, money is typically no object, which may explain in part why the school security industry is now a $3 billion market.
Districts pay millions for AI weapons detectors, facial recognition screening, video surveillance, and emergency lockdown systems. Tonight, in part 2 of his series on securing our schools, I-Team investigator John Barr shifts his focus away from the technology to the body of knowledge surrounding school violence, a field of study which has, unfortunately, also continued to grow. John?
Yeah, Scott, much of that money and technology is aimed at stopping the worst case scenario, an active shooter incident on campus, which is why we wanted to get the perspective of a man who's studied these tragedies for decades. And what he's discovered is not what you might expect.
White shirt, just stay there. White shirt, stay there.
October 20th, Baltimore County Police handcuff and search a group of teens after an AI weapons detector alerts school officials that one of them is armed. Turns out there was no gun at all.
I don't think it is. It's like a bag or something.
The system mistakenly alerted on a bag of chips.
Hey, just so you guys are aware, so basically the cameras around the system, they pick up on things that look like guns. I guess just the way you guys were eating chips, Doritos, whatever, it picked it up as a gun.
You got a knife! Go security!
October 31st, 2022. A student attacks a classmate with a knife inside a Utica, New York high school. A weapon the teen carried right through the school's security system, undetected.
There's still a lot of questions about exactly how effective this technology really is, particularly because it's so new and because it's evolving.
James Densley is a criminology professor and co-founder of the Violence Prevention Project. He's studied nearly 200 mass shootings dating back to 1966. Many of them at places with names that have become all too familiar.
We're watching live video from Columbine High School.
Columbine, Sandy Hook, Uvalde.
We're looking at all aspects of the perpetrators' lives and the context around those crimes to try and understand, how they did it, why they did it, and anything that might be illustrated for prevention.
Densley says it's important to know nearly 3/4 of all school shootings don't even happen in the building. They happen outside. And most of the perpetrators are on a suicide mission.
School mass shooters in particular almost intend to die in the act. It's intended to be a final act. When your intent is to die, you're not calculating the fact that you're going to get caught in a metal detector.
If 70% happen outside, if the shooter is basically hell-bent on going out in a blaze of glory, what good does a weapons detection system do?
Zero.
That's Tom McDermott, the K-12 safety and security coach for CHEA USA, a company that sells weapon detection systems and now does about 60% of its business with school districts like Fairfax County.
It's for a concealed weapons detection because all these kids, as I described, are bringing guns to school. But no, it's not going to tackle them. It's not going to, tackle a mass shooter.
For years, policymakers have argued for more school resource officers. But after studying 133 school shootings or attempted shootings from 1980 to 2019, Densley and his colleagues determined armed guards were not associated with significant reduction in rates of injuries. In fact, they found the rates of deaths was nearly 3 times greater in schools with an armed guard present.
When school resource officers were on the scene, we actually saw that the death count went up.
And building relationships, positive relationships inside that school is proactive. We need to solve the problem. What is causing this stress in a student that's making them think about hurting others or hurting himself or herself?
Mac Hardy, Director of Operations with the National Association of School Resource Officers, says the number of school attacks is far outnumbered by those thwarted by school resource officers and counselors.
If you're just tuning in,
cases which never receive media attention.
Students learn better, teachers teach better when they feel safe.
According to the most recent numbers from the Justice Department, fewer than 1 in 5 of the nation's public schools have a full-time school resource officer, most of them armed. But when it comes to students carrying handguns at our schools, the data gets far less reliable. Schools aren't required to report when guns are found. A Department of Education survey from the 2021-2022 school year found nearly 5,000 public school students had brought firearms to school, more than any school year dating back to 2011. But that's based on students self-reporting.
Only 60% of gun incidents are high schools. That means 40% are elementary and middle school. So little kids are bringing guns because they're just lying around the house.
That's exactly what happened in Virginia in January 2023.
Female victim, she's been shot in the abdomen as well as a through and through into the hand.
I thought I had died. I thought I was either on my way to heaven or in heaven.
That's Abby Zwerner testifying in court just days ago in Newport News. Zwerner, a former first-grade teacher, was shot by her 6-year-old student, a case that led to Zwerner just last week being awarded $10 million in a civil trial. Zwerner has said she won't return to the classroom, but in a Pew Research study a few years ago, 69% of current teachers said improving mental health screening and treatment would be extremely or very effective in preventing future school shootings. 33% said the same about metal detectors.
You're missing a huge slice of the pie if you're only focusing on fortifying the building itself. So where I would put the money is in people, not in products.
And we sent school officials in the 8 major districts in our area a series of questions about security so you can find out what your own district is doing. You can find their answers on WJLA.com. Coming up next week, I'll introduce you to some of the men and women who are working tirelessly here in the DMV and around the nation to stop school violence. We'll go inside the world of threat assessment. For the I-Team, I'm John Barr.